Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a big offensive lineman from Purdue University. His name is Corey Stewart. Nice to have you today, buddy.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
So, Corey, I felt like a lot of people need to meet you. I mean, we're looking at an offensive lineman who is very experienced, has a lot going for him as a prospect. So, let's go ahead and get after it so people can meet you. So, introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
Corey Stewart from Nashville, Tennessee. Went to East Nashville High School. Played basketball there for 4 years. Played football over there for two. And yeah, I got recruited to play at Ball State. Uh, Enjoyed my time there. The connections with my teammates that I made, my coaches, and then played this last year, this past season at Purdue.
Yeah, and again, just to follow up, East Nashville High School is what you attended way back in the day,
Yep.
playing a little bit of football as well as some basketball. So, were you a big basketball guy growing up? I mean, big fan.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like you played that maybe even more than football back in the day, right?
Yeah. So my family, everybody, my cousins, my big cousins, we all play basketball. So I wanted to be like them when I got older. So I was trying to chase after them, play basketball. Then I want to say my sophomore year, going into my junior year, I made the transition to play football.
Cool. So, growing up in Nashville, I don't know if maybe perhaps you were a big fan of like a particular basketball player, but who was it maybe at the football level? Like, were you a big fan of like a particular team or player growing up, or what?
My family, we all watched the Titans. So that was the only bit of football that I watched was watching with my family on Sundays when we watched the Titans.
So, is there maybe a player on the Titans that you like to study the most? I mean, I'm just trying to, figure things out a little bit for you and your overall, like, fandom growing up.
Me, like the players that I study, I didn't really study any Titans players. I like to study like Larry Tunsil, um, obviously Trent Williams. Just try to learn from the best of the best that's there.
Gotcha. So, cool. So, you end up out of high school, attending Ball State. But I am kind of curious, you coming out of high school, how was the recruitment period for you overall? I mean, other schools that might have been interested at that particular time, enlighten me.
So my recruitment process, I wouldn't say it was like slow, but I obviously didn't have like a lot of offers just because when I started playing football, so I didn't wasn't really polished in a sense. So my first offer I got from Alabama A&M. Then my second offer was Demo, and then Austin P, and then the last one was Ball State.
Yeah, and I think for most people, like you always want to play at like the FBS level if at all possible. With
Yeah.
no disrespect to those schools, I mean, if you have an opportunity to play at FBS, most
Hmm.
people tend to take it.
Yeah, definitely.
So regardless where it's located or anything like that,
Hmm.
but there at Ball State in the MAC. Talk to me about your Ball State days, and I know I kind of want to park there for a minute because that's where you spent most of your time. So,
Hmm.
um, talk to me about Ball State and really some of the people that were part of your journey there.
Also at Ball State, it was a great time there. My freshman year came in during COVID, so that was obviously a issue. Just can't be around everybody on the team all the time. We had to be separated into groups and stuff like that. So I say, even with that, the guys I was with, they made my time there transition from high school to college like really easy. Like even though obviously it wasn't easy, getting adjusted to being in college classes and having to just put in that grind of in the weight room stuff like that. Being pushed limits you ain't know you could be pushed to. It made it a lot easier for me to just feel comfortable, feel at home, and get through it. Basically,
Yeah, and obviously, Corey, you had mentioned like you first come into you know college, and we are faced with the pandemic, and
mm.
so uh, were you one guy that just decided to opt out? Is that how that season went, or was that a red shirt? Can you enlighten me on how that went?
So I didn't opt out, but I didn't play. So that whole red shirt stuff and is still unclear to me to this day because I don't know how that all that went down. It was just a crazy year, and just being able just to play a game was really everybody was just focused on being able to play. So
Hey, either way we look at it, 2020 was pretty much a freebie for everybody in college. So I mean, regardless of what you would have done, it wouldn't have counted anyways.
mm,
So,
yeah,
anyways, you did eventually get a chance to play, and ultimately, had a very experienced, career overall.
mm,
I have in my notes 41 career starts at both universities, which I think is really nice,
yeah,
showing obviously, a lot of good experience for you as an offensive lineman.
mm.
Um, Give me a sense for your overall experience across that offensive line, whether it be left, right, or anywhere in between. What did you play the most throughout your college years?
So when I first started playing 2021, I was playing right tackle for I want to say half the season, and then our left tackle got hurt, so I ended up moving to left tackle, which was like my natural position where I started playing football at. So majority of my time I play left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, let's just face it. I mean, left tackles are very good. Left tackles are very hard to come by.
Hmm.
It's a very important position on the field, and we have here a guy who's played left tackle uh, a lot in
Yeah.
his college years. So I mean, certainly very helpful as a prospect. Um, so give us a feel for Ball State versus Purdue, and just kind of how their offenses function. How would you describe the two, or maybe give me a little bit of differences in their approach or scheme?
So at Ball State, we ran more of a pro style offense. So you would be able to get a lot more, I'd say, more different looks than we do at Purdue. Purdue is more of a spread style. We want to spread the field, run the ball. At the Ball State, we had a lot of plays where we just get downhill or you know just being creative in a sense with what we're doing. So I feel like that's how they were different. And Ball State, we didn't really run a lot of outside zone. It was more duo, inside zone, counter. Uh, so yeah.
So, you know, as a guy who plays on the offensive line, what do you pride yourself in the most? Like, is there like one particular part of your game that you feel stands out amongst the rest, or what?
Just my awareness and my ability to be smart. Basically, being able to see what's coming before it happens, or being able to communicate things with my guys, make sure everybody's on the same page. I feel like I'm very strong in doing that on the field.
Gotcha. I mean, certainly the very first thing when I look at you as a prospect is the size. I mean, let's just face it, that's probably, what Ball State looked at when, when you're first coming out of high school. Hey, there's a really big dude. Let's just bring him in. I mean, it just
Yeah,
makes sense. And so, we do have a guy with an efficient size that can play, on the left side, on the right side, or maybe like depending on whatever is put in front of you, could also play on the interior.
yeah,
Obviously, we are looking at a guy who is, finished up his time as a collegiate athlete and is now legitimately an NFL prospect. Um, Corey, I do want to just pause there for just a minute. When we talk about you as an NFL prospect, has that hit you yet? Are you willing to take this on, you know, 100%. I mean, where are you at overall, like with your overall like situation and approach right now?
Um, has it hit me yet? It's more of a, football, you just taught to take one thing at a time and take things as they come. So for me, it's more about just living in the moment and just basically seeing each day out, try to just take it all in and be confident about every decision I make.
Gotcha. Well, I do want to just kind of walk through some of your career just so that, people can really understand, what you've been able to accomplish during your time. Again, played at Ball State from 2021 through 2023. And then, of course, took the opportunity to transfer to Purdue to finish things out. And throughout that time, again, 41 career starts. Um, let's go ahead and look through some of these things. I mean, you've been a part of a couple different offenses now. Who do you feel has been like the most influential person for you or people for you who maybe helped develop you into the player that you are today, like coaches or teammates or something?
So one of my coaches that really I give a lot of credit to, just developing me as a player, is my O-line coach at Ball State, Coach Johnson. He just instilled a lot of confidence into me, just to be the player that I'm supposed to be. Also my coach, Coach Johnson at Purdue, he taught me a lot of things. He taught me to basically just take pride in what you put on film. You know what I'm saying? He taught me how to just little extra nuances that you wouldn't recognize if you haven't played the game at the highest level. You know what I mean? So he taught me a lot of things like that. I got a lot of teammates that helped me throughout my time. There's a lot of them guys that, man, we like family. So my guy Rico, Kyle, um, Ty, Keontae, Keon, I can go on and on about all my teammates that helped me along my time. But everybody I crossed paths with that taught me something in some type of way and made me a better player.
I mean, hey, there's a lot of people from both institutions who I know influenced you big time, really helped, you develop into the player who you are today. Um, Let me just kind of ask you the question. What do you feel is the biggest difference between you now versus you, the guy who came in early on in his career and was recruited out of high school? What's the biggest difference you think?
Biggest difference I feel like is my mentality, my mindset. Being in college, you learn how to persevere, basically, you know, and you basically learn how to apply what you've been through in life and apply it to football and be able to get through, the hard things, the hard patches, and you know, get through a 19 play drive or, you know, it's a third down, you see them bring in their fresh second players that haven't played all game. It just teaches you how to push through the hard things that come with football.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been through a lot in your career. I mean, you've been able to I don't know, really fight through adversity really since the get, you coming in, I mean, with really just the uncertainty of playing football. And then just kind of looking back at
Yeah.
your past few seasons, especially this year, man, really just didn't turn out all that great for Purdue. Um, when we, when you're faced with these things, man, where maybe the season's not going the way that you think you want it to, how do you stay motivated?
Um, me and the guys, man, we just had to lean on each other and remember why we started playing football and how far we wanted to take our dreams, play football. So we just really just were just committed to it, and it just comes with loving it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love it to come out there, and even when things are going in your favor, still be able to go out there on the field and give everything you got. So that's how I feel like we got through it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to love every aspect of, what it means to be an athlete, a football player. I mean, you got to love the preparation, the games,
Yeah.
every moment that you have with all your teammates, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially as a lineman, you gotta love the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta park there for just a minute. Favorite lift, or
Favorite
most, or
lift?
let me say it this way: the lift that you're most proud of.
The lift I'm most proud of is it's really not even a lift, it's a pull at Purdue. I've been able to do a lot more pull-ups than I was able to before I came here. So I feel like that's what I'm most proud of, being able to be 318 pounds, pull yourself up a lot of times for, a lot of reps is just real, I don't know, gratifying in a sense.
So what are we talking about? Like 15, 20 times? Like what's that number?
Coach Rowe, he gets real creative. Sometimes we can get up to 6 sets of three, 4 sets of five. However he puts it on there, you know what I'm saying? We just found a way to get it done. Been able to do it with two-weighted vests on, stuff like that. It's really able, real gratifying. Feel good
And
about
and
yourself after you do it.
and so they're putting like an extra probably what 50, 100 pounds on you or something. Is that how that's
Uh,
going or what?
Extra 20 pounds. So each vest is 10 pounds. So extra 20 pounds.
Crazy, man.
Yeah,
Putting
well,
yourself through a whole lot there doing a pull up. I don't even know how many I can do right now.
yeah.
Uh, Maybe a couple,
Yeah,
but with like 20 extra pounds, I don't think I'd get very far. So,
yeah.
um, interesting. So, obviously, talked about maybe some of the lowlights. I want to talk about some of the highlights. Been part of a lot of great games, a lot of great moments. So,
Mm.
walk me through a couple of them. Maybe your favorite play or game from both institutions. So, uh, go ahead and walk through some of those for me.
Um, my favorite game at Ball State was probably when we played NIU at NIU and hit a little game winning field goal because the year prior they did the same thing to us. Kicker went all around the field going crazy and stuff like that. That's a trophy game too. So it just kind of hit different when we went the same way the next year. So that's probably my favorite game at Ball State. And my favorite game at Purdue was probably Illinois game. That game being a game to the wire shootout game. It just took you through all the highs and lows that you could possibly feel in the game. So that's probably my favorite game.
Nice. What's you said a little bit about it before, like when you were describing both of the offenses that you've been a part of. Um,
Mm.
what's your favorite play that you love executing out there? If you said it before, go ahead and say it again. I'm just kind of curious.
My favorite play is duo. I love running duo. Just being able to go downhill and not have to think about what's coming, what type of stunts or movements they doing. Just be able to get downhill, run the ball. That's my favorite play for sure.
I feel like most linemen love it when they're run blocking and going forward.
Oh yeah,
Because I
for
feel
sure.
like they have so much more control
Yeah,
and there's
definitely.
just so much more, you have so much more of an advantage,
Yeah.
obviously going forward than setting, coming backwards.
Mm,
And so it's a whole lot of fun in doing that, especially when you're
yeah,
able to
definitely.
pancake a guy. So,
Yeah.
you ever try and tally up the pancakes?
Oh, definitely. You definitely got a meter in your head of how many you got for the game or
I
how many
mean,
you want to get to.
you figure as an offensive lineman, like you don't get too many like stats at all, if
Nah,
anything.
that's the one stat you could possibly get.
Nice. Well, hey Corey, want to take a moment to meet the guy off the field. So we've already talked about you as player, the highlights of your career, but tell us about you, your overall interests, hobbies,
Mm-hmm.
any fun facts or special talents.
Mm.
Tell me a little something fun about you.
Me, I'm a family guy. I'm real family oriented. I like to be around my people. You know, that could be my teammates, uh, my family at home, my girlfriend, anybody. I just like spending time with my people. Creating bonds. Probably my favorite thing, and creating memories. You can't can't like I don't know. It's something special about creating memories with people that I just take pride in and enjoy. And also one of my new things that I like to do, I like music. Um, just got for my birthday, I asked my girlfriend to give me a record player. So that's something that I'm trying to get into, old school music, stuff like that. Like playing the game. I'm a real simple guy. I don't like doing too much. I like just be around people that love being around me pretty much.
All right. I want to piggyback off of some of those answers and just have a little bit of fun with it.
Hmm.
I do think it's interesting to talk about some of the music, especially when you're talking about, getting some like vinyl,
Yeah,
which is fun. So,
yeah.
uh, what are you buying? I'm just kind of curious, like, what sort of music are you picking up? I mean, you said old school. What are we talking about?
Like funk, 70s funk. That's why I'm trying to start to collect on that. Uh, just basically, I like to listen to music and just see how it evolve or like change. Just hearing like the little nuances of a sound of a song that just make a song complete. I don't know. I just enjoy doing that. So I've
I
been trying to
mean,
get in more into that.
my first thought is, for some people that, try and get like the disc players, you have these disc jockeys that try to like really mess with stuff and mix
Mm,
music. Like, I don't know if
mm.
that's something that you do at all.
Oh no,
Um,
I don't do
okay, okay.
that.
Well, let me ask you a couple more questions again for fun. So, this may be just like a quick little, you know, fire back and forth question
Yeah,
answer period. So, um, from Tennessee. So I got to ask you, where's the best barbecue joint in town?
best barbecue.
I mean, when people think of Tennessee, that's like one of the first things they think of. That's the reason why I was asking.
Yeah, but best barbecue. I wouldn't know like the best spot for barbecue, but for like just hot chicken. That's what I love. I love hot chicken. Best place to go to is Prince's, in
All
my
right,
opinion. Some
that
some
that
people might
works.
say some people might say Helen's, but I like Prince's over there.
All right, cool, cool. I didn't know exactly what you're into, so I mean, I figured, I'd kind of go on this tangent and you'd
Yeah,
lead me here. So there's nothing wrong with that. I can certainly eat me some chicken, some hot wings, whatever, like
yeah.
all day long. So um, let's see here. You have like a favorite TV show or movie that you like right now? I mean, would you recommend a TV show that I binge watch?
Uh, it's actually this real good show I just watched on Amazon Prime. It's called Cross. By a detective. Basically, he has like this stalker, and it's a crazy show. Like it's a lot that happens in it. It kind of takes you through a loop. It takes you through some stuff you wouldn't expect to happen in the show.
So you like shows and TV and movies and stuff that kind of make you think a little? Is that kind of
Yeah,
where that comes
yeah,
from?
yeah. It's like the shock factor of it. Like
All right.
I can't believe this just happened type thing.
All right. Well, I mean, we could certainly chit chat about a few of those things. I mean, there's a lot of interesting movies out there
Yeah,
that come to mind, but I'd rather move on to another question. Um, let's see here. Uh, Favorite snack food?
favorite snack. I would my favorite snack. It's a lot of them.
Well, give me at least one. I mean, I know you're a big guy on the offensive line, and probably
Yeah.
have several. No offense, I'm just messing with you. Um,
Nah,
but just
that's all
answer the
good.
question.
My favorite one, I like Gushers. I like the Trolleys, the wild berry one. That's my favorite one. And my favorite drink to get is like a blue Powerade.
Okay. Mm. Interesting that you mentioned a lot of the gummies out there. So we're all
Yeah.
about the gummies, and that's not a bad thing. So um uh I had found out that you're a sociology major.
Mhm.
And I am kind of curious. What do you see yourself doing when football's done? And whether it be 5, 10, 15 years down the line or whatever,
Mhm.
what do you want to try and do with that degree?
I feel like my degree, I feel like it's very useful regardless of where. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with it because obviously I just take it, take things as they go. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's real useful in the workforce, whatever I choose to do. Learn how people think, learn why people do things that they do. Just basically understanding people, and I feel like that'll be able to get me a long way.
And have you I don't know, maybe thought, and again, this is a question that I don't know if you've ever, put some thought into, but like, you have the game of football, you can potentially use it as a platform for, maybe something else, a means of giving back or something. Have you thought about maybe perhaps like a charity or a cause or something that you might put forth, your efforts in doing, once you do get established in the league?
Yeah, definitely. I want to be able to basically like go back home, build up places that ain't got the best living conditions or like in the best areas. You know what I mean, make something, build up places that people be able to say they're proud of being from. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. Just be in my community, be somebody that somebody can look up to, pretty much.
Well, hopefully, Corey, you'll be able to come back to your hometown soon and be that hometown hero that has been able to, build, like a rec center or something for people
Mm-hmm.
to attend. So, but before you get there, got to get noticed by the league, got to get your foot in the door. That's obviously the reason why we're chit chatting is so that we could learn more about you as a player and share you with
Mm-hmm.
some share you with the world, so that people can learn more about you. um, I want to close up shop, and as we're doing that, go ahead and talk to the scouts out there about what you would bring to the table if they took a chance on you. So close with your final thoughts.
Um, People that take a chance on me, going get a guy that's willing to put his head down, work, do whatever that's needed for the team. A guy that doesn't take coaching personal. Um, a guy that understands what comes with the game and what could happen in the game. You know what I mean? A guy that's a smart, well experienced, good at working with other people, good at learning from other people, not thinking that he's figured everything out, willing to learn and be able to get better and get to the highest caliber player I
Well,
can be.
Well, Corey, I mean, definitely a player with a lot of good traits to work with, and that overall experience, and especially on as a left tackle, do feel like there are teams that are that would be interested. So, want to wish you the best in what you got going on with football and everything else in your life. Okay,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
no problem. Again, I have with me Corey Stewart, offensive lineman out of Purdue University. Check this guy out.